And good evening, everyone. Live from Crocker Field in Fitchburg, it is schoolboy football. Schoolboy football is back again, and it's an old rivalry back again as the Red Raiders of Fitchburg High School take on St. Bernard's. And John Gugerty joins us tonight. Mike Flynn will be with us again next week. But Mike, people don't know really what to think about this particular matchup because the Red Raiders, all you can say is Tom DiGeronimo was a part.
Black Bear Coating and Concrete, North End Mazda, Leominster Credit Union.
Certainly an interesting challenge tonight, Dave, for the Raiders as they take on the Saints of St. Bernard's. First time I can remember seeing the Red Raiders take on St. Bernard's in my going on a decade now with Fitchburg Access TV. I think this is actually the first St. Bernard's game we've had here on FATV since the night before Thanksgiving, almost 10 years ago now, when they took on Monty Tech.
Apologize for my problems here with my phone, but we're okay, and we're ready to go. The team all over there, ready to get going into this evening's ball game. Last year, John, it was just the tough year. Last year, they had one win, and that led to the coaching change, and it kind of leads to tonight. And as I said, if you didn't hear earlier, a lot of kids went out for football this year at Fitchburg High School, and there's strength in numbers, and we'll see how they do tonight against, I'm sure, what is going to be a game St. Bernard's team. We've followed Coach Bingham over the years. His team always plays with a lot of heart. They're a very intelligent team as well, and I find it to be a little bit interesting to see maybe a few people out there are just kind of going, I don't know, but I don't know. And we have the concession stand open.
That is certainly a very big development. A couple years in the making now. The newly revamped, renovated, ready-to-go concession stand here at Crocker Field. Obviously still plenty of time. If you're listening to us or watching in Fitchburg, come on down to Crocker Field. Tickets still available. Plenty of room here. Brand new concession stand, as you said. But I want to get back to a point that you made earlier, Dave. There's a really big disparity in size between the two rosters of these clubs. We were talking about it here in the press box earlier. There were 90 kids who came out and tried out for a football team this year for Fitchburg. They've got 68 on their roster. Compare that with St. Bernard's dressing just 39 players for this game. That'll be something to watch as this one goes on.
Well, it'll be great to watch, and if they could ever get this rivalry back together on some firm ground, there's another rivalry that they've got, and there's nothing like a good rivalry.
No, absolutely not. Obviously, you've got the rivalry between Fitchburg and Leominster, and that's been going for 125 years now, and that is always going to be that. But it is nice to have this kind of intra-city rivalry with Fitchburg and St. Bernard's playing at the same level now. Maybe we get a good, exciting game here, and we build something for the future.
Yeah, and you look at that, you look at the new concession booth off to your left there, and it really is an awful lot like the one on the right. Maybe a little bit bigger, but that's one of the things that they come out with, is the insurance companies will say, here is X amount of dollars, but it has to be exactly meeting this criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took a while, but talking with Rick Kazanjian and some people over there, was it worth it? And he said absolutely. It was definitely worth it because they did an excellent job on it. And so stop by and see some folks and look for yourself.
Absolutely. The renovations and the improvements just continue here at Crocker Field. A couple of years ago, we had the nice new scoreboard installed, along with, I don't mind saying this, some help from your friends at Fitchburg Access Television. And now we've got the newly renovated concession stand, some big exciting things getting at Crocker Field, and we always want to make it a better experience for the folks here. But also the St. Bernard's being better fun babies. But here come the Raiders.
And the crowd is happy to get back on the turf here. So what did that last? Close to
That was about a 25 minutes delay.
Yeah. Now St. Bernard's is just about ready to walk out.
Central Catholic State.
Well, I think that if you wanted to restart a rivalry, this may do it.
It's not quite, well, those guys stole our signals with Apple Watches. Well, those guys stole our signals with cameras. But it's similar.
Visiting St. Bernard's Central Catholic team. And these 11 players should see a lot of action on both sides of the ball tonight. Number 3, Walter Morales Jr.
I would think that the national anthem will be coming up shortly. And,
One would think.
5 is Xavier
well, they
Martin.
did a nice job settling that down, and nobody really lost their heads on it.
Number
You
9,
know?
Cartier Dubrado. Number 11, Benjamin Shaw. Number 25, Brian Hill.
And St. Bernard's probably does throw.
Number
I
28,
mean,
Nicholas
I
Cavillo.
I would think it'd be a lot harder to catch the ball when it's dark
Number
like this.
33,
Absolutely.
Micah Stinson. Number 51, Brian Mahoney. And number 68, Nathan Overshaw.
Well, I haven't seen, that was interesting.
On the Pittsburgh side of
That
the
was
ball.
very interesting.
Once again, these 11 players will be seeing action on both sides.
While we have a moment here, Dave, I do want to thank you very much just for the opportunity to do this game with you. I also want to pass along my best wishes to Mike Flynn. We hope to see him back in action next week as the Raiders take on Shepherd Hill right here at the illuminated Crocker Field, right here on FATV.
Number
Thank
25,
you, John.
Mateo
John will be handling the second and third quarters today. Giving me a little, I'm getting a little old in my age here. I was trying to figure out how many years we've been in this thing here. 37 total years? 37 total years doing this. And we've enjoyed every moment of it, and this goes along with it.
Captains for the Red Raiders from left to right, you've got Andrew Brooks, and then that's Kyle Katonen, Rico Colon, and I believe that's Tyree Preston on the far right. So you've got the quarterback and a trio of offensive linemen representing the captains for the Red Raiders.
And I don't know if a little bit later on, maybe they'll get some pictures of the steeple house, the chapel over there. Once they light those up, it'll be nice.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things about
beautiful.
One of my favorite things about doing a game here at Crocker Field, and I really don't get the opportunity to do it a lot. This is just a beautiful view from the press box. Obviously, you've got the field, but you just look out and you've got the trees, the houses, the steeples. On a clear night, you can see the moon. It is absolutely beautiful right here at Crocker Field.
Yeah, that and the flag is not moving at all. It's still, and they're ready to go. So the Red Raiders trying to get their act back together, and of course St. Bernard's always willing to give you a try. Well, that'll be interesting when that comes up. John's trying to get some of that information.
So what we're hearing here in the press box, and we're going to have to see this in action, but as the ball moves from the left to right, once it gets past the 30-yard line on the right-hand side, they're just going to stop and switch ends, which will be something to see.
The national anthem is coming up, so we will rise up for our national anthem. Okay, well, with that out of the way,
We are finally ready for some football.
Fitchburg in their, well, I don't know what color you want to get those. Cardinal,
I think it's a little dark for a cardinal red.
white. Last year they had kind of the same things, too.
I'd call that a good crimson.
Crimson's good. Yeah, it could be crimson. I'll go with crimson. And so,
St. Bernard's, meanwhile, in the white and gold with, I believe that's navy blue numbering.
and I'm just watching it, you know, the Fitchburg kids, I wonder if they're going to be the first ones to, quite frankly, drop the ball because they can't see the ball. We shall see. The great Curly from the Three Stooges once said. Oh, that was Mo, I'm sorry. St. Bernard's will kick off to the Red
Bringing
Raiders.
kicking
St.
short
Bernard's
for
will go
St. Bernard's,
left to
number
right
11
on your
Benjamin
radio
Shaw.
dial. It's not radio dial anymore, gang. I'm so used to saying that, but
It could be.
it's TV.
Turn the picture
Back
off on your
deep
TV and
deep
just
for the
listen.
Red Raiders,
It's a
number 2,
beautiful night.
Isaiah
Go sit
Perez,
outside.
and number 5, Mike Now.
And we're underway. A little pooch going down to the 20-yard line, up to the near side, 25, 30, and close to midfield. Nice run as we get a chance to see, hopefully.
Good return there by Mike Nowd for the Red Raiders.
Looks like he's up to the 36-yard line. Hopefully we'll get our down and yardage stuff up there. Little delay, big hole to the near side, up to the 50, down to the 40, down to the 40-yard line, the 45, 40-yard line. And that'll be a first down for the Red Raiders.
Great first play of the season for the Raiders. You take a look at it again.
Look at that.
Sal Figueroa is not touched as he breaks through the line of scrimmage. He still isn't being touched. Finally brought down after a gain of about 20 yards.
Up to the 41-yard line. Turnaround, coming to the near side, 40. 35, and that's about as far as he goes.
That was Damian Nadal, the fullback, with that carry. Red Raiders in the early going having a lot of success running to their left.
Quarterback of the Red Raiders is number 15. That's Andrew Brooks. Got a lot of playing time last year and just put some weight on him there and raring to go. Little delay on the right side and a good carry short of the 30-yard line. Ball still kind of bouncing around down there.
Figueroa was brought down short of the 30, but he did pick up enough to get the first down. So they'll stop the clock, move the chains, first down Red Raiders.
Sal Figueroa is one of the guys to watch out for tonight. He's a senior. First down and 10. And right now, Brooks is kind of looking things over. A little delay and hitting the backfield. Nice play defensively for St. Bernard's.
Brian Hill getting into the backfield. First really good defensive stop for the Saints tonight.
Brooks coming back in.
Dave, you had mentioned, last year Andrew Brooks was really almost entirely the smallest kid on the field, and that is not the case anymore.
He took a beating last year. He really did. But he's learned from it and very confident coming in. Pitch back, not a bad cut back to the line of scrimmage. Now he's going backwards. And he finally goes down at the 44-yard line. One of those deals where you're fighting for an extra yard or two and you end up losing about 6 or 7.
I think the officials are going to give him forward progress back where he was initially hit.
Yes.
It kind of seemed like he broke out of the tackle and then lunged forward and got brought down again. And I think the Raiders are maybe a little fortunate that that only went for a 4-yard loss.
Or just to get back to the line of scrimmage, Brooks had to run quite a bit. And whistles. Timeout.
Raiders take their first timeout, facing a 3rd and about 14. Certainly 2-down territory, I would think, for them here. You know, if they can get a reasonable gain on 3rd down. There you see Andrew Brooks, the junior quarterback, in his 2nd year as the full-time signal caller for the Red Raiders.
Well, it's great, too. You know in the back of your head that you've got this guy for another year. Brooks calling signals. Quick pitch back near side. Cut in, down to the 30. 25, 20. Down to the 15. Down to the 10, the 5, touchdown.
What a run for Sal Figueroa.
Got a replay coming up because he made a couple of beautiful cuts. There it is. Kept his balance.
Right there, that's the move that really sets him free. He had Walter Morales Jr. on top of him, and Figueroa just cuts to the right, breaks into the open field, and from there it's a foot race.
Okay, we'll see if the Red Raiders have a kicker this year.
Well, they have one listed on the roster. It's Damian Saavedra. I think that's him coming out, number 23. He's got a brother Francisco listed as also a kicker, but this is Damian trying the extra point.
Go for the extra point. Snap down, kick up. And the kick is good.
I would say the Red Raiders have a kicker. That was a very impressive kick.
Mr. Touchdown. I don't know if he's in town today, but, well, I do hear them down there. All right. Mr. Touchdown coming your way.
We have a message for Eliza Ortiz. It's 2005 Toyota.
First visit for Mr. Touchdown of the season. Hopefully not the last.
Y9, that's the plate number. We need you to move the car, please. Eliza Ortiz, 2005
That'll be Damian Saavedra again.
Yep. Should see how the Fitchburg defense handles things a little bit here.
Dave, you can really see now that we've gotten a little bit into this game, the right side of this field is not playable. I mean, it's an interesting situation, stopping it once they get to the 30-yard line, but it's probably the right play.
Bounces around at the 33. And moving around for 40, 45. Nice run back. Alexander. And once we see the replay, we'll see what kind of moves he put on here. Pretty good. Right about the midfield stripe. We see that play there, fellas. I don't know if we can or not.
It's a really good run back by Ja'Kai Alexander, the junior for St. Bernard's. We'll take a look at it again here.
There it is. Missed tackle there, but boy, he went flying by.
Really good moves by him.
Right at midfield. Rolling out to the near side. Looks, throws, caught. Right at midfield. Goes a yard, and that's about it. Really kind of cleaned things up.
Well, I think
by Elijah Allen.
Saw a flag come in late. Might have hit him just after he ducked out of bounds. that flag came in way from the back. And it's a face mask against the Red Raiders. So just a 2-yard gain on the completion, but you tack on the penalty, and that's an additional 15 yards.
There it goes after the penalty. And that will move it all the way down to the 35. A lot of nice pitches tonight. It's early tonight, but a lot of nice pitches upstairs. All of our camera guys
And
gals. Yep. At the 35, rolling out to the far side, and maybe a yard or two. I think that was Valera.
St. Bernard's looking to answer. Fitchburg really not troubled at all as they marched down the field on their first drive. You know, they faced 1 3rd down, and that was the play on which they scored the touchdown. St. Bernard's looking to answer right back.
Well, I'd like to see those little things turn on out there. Look nice. Maybe somebody will get things going. We could use the light over here, right? Nice run on the near side, 30, 25, 20, and pushed out of bounds.
That's Xavier Marty for the
Nice
Bernardians.
Marty is a running back. He is strong safety and just a junior on the team, so he'll be back again next year. Nice play. And I don't know, somebody switching in and out or calling a timeout, I don't know.
No, they're switching ends.
Okay.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Dave, once they cross the 30-yard line going to the right, they're switching ends. So St. Bernard's will now come down to the left-hand side and play from right to left for the remainder of this possession. This is a
That's
Well,
a, you know, I
it's
guess that's a good, I guess it's, I
say
guess the
that-
big thing is fair.
I'll say this,
Fair.
it's a makeshift solution for tonight. I don't think this is a tenable solution going forward.
No, no.
But for tonight, it's what they have to do, and it's better than not playing football. So St. Bernard's now going right to left. They have 1st and 10 at about the 17-yard line. Is that right? Looks about right.
Way off to our left. Man in motion. Gives a little pitch inside. Makes a good cut down to the 5-yard line. So St. Bernard's has come right back here, John. They've gotten into deep territory down to the 5-yard line.
Absolutely. They started with really good field position after the run back, set them up at midfield. But much like the Red Raiders, they have not been troubled. They are marching very efficiently down the field. Now they've got 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And this possession's only taken, what, 2.5 minutes, if that?
Almost jumped off, and did he?
Well, we got whistles and flags before the snap. Usually indicates a false start.
Yes. Far side. Referee is Bill Goslin.
Nope, they were drawn off by the Raiders. So that'll be another 2.5 yards. Set the Bernardians up 1st and 10, just inside the 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, is it the Bernardians or the Saints? I can't get it straight. It is St. Bernard's.
Yeah, it's just, what, 2-3 yards to go for?
Just inside the 3-yard line, so 2.5.
Handoff coming to the near side, plowing to the end zone, but short. Fitchburg defensive play.
Good work.
Nice Dylan Arujo.
Good work there by Arujo. Also, Andres Stefanakos bringing him down from behind. We'll take a look at it again here. Really a whole bunch of Raiders in on the hit there. Rocco Arcapridian as well.
Probably not what the Fitchburg coaching staff wanted to see here after they scored so easily. But there's a lot of time off, heading to the goal line, and he's short. No, he's in. Touchdown!
Valera just took that ball in himself. He lost his helmet, but he gained 6 points. I think he'll take that trade.
So after the Fitchburg touchdown, St. Bernard's has come right back and now can tie it.
One thing I noticed, Dave, on that drive, St. Bernard's does not waste time once they come to the line.
No.
You know, they get set and they snap the ball. They are not sitting there barking out signals. They're trying to catch the Raiders off guard. And I think they did that, especially on the touchdown play. And now St. Bernard's will take timeout. I think they were lining up to go for 2.
This is another one of those. Although, I don't know, it might be kind of tough the way how damp it is and all that on the floor of Crocker Field. It might lead to things getting a little wet, things slipping and sliding, you know.
I'll say this for St. Bernard's, Dave. They do not have any player on their roster listed as a kicker. So
they'll get somebody.
I'm sure they will, but I also think in the meantime, we're going to see a lot of 2-point attempts from them as we go through this game.
Let's see what they do here. They got to go for it. Pitched it out, and he didn't make it. Nice play defensively.
Mike Nowd. A great play for Mike Nowd, bringing the ball carrier down in the backfield.
Also, Devin DeLeon made the play as well. Wide receiver, junior. DeLeon made a nice play, and Fitchburg maintains their lead, 7-6. And that would probably do the Mr. Touchdown maybe in the neighborhood. If he is, we'll hear from him.
I should think not. Do you really expect the Red Raider marching band to play Mr. Touchdown after St. Bernard scores?
That's right. What did I do?
He is not a disloyal man. Mr. Touchdown is an honorable Red Raider.
I'm sorry about that. Class of 76 here, although nobody would probably recognize that now. You know what I was doing? I was too busy looking at that lights down there.
You were too... What lights down there?
Well, those lights are still on down on our side here.
There you see a couple of our camera operators up there. That's Jared and Nicole. We've got Glenn and Jill running cameras down on the field.
7-6 Fitchburg. Little pooch popped up in the air, and they got down. They got down there real quick.
Hi, there's us. Hello. Turn to your left, Dave. Camera's down there. No, don't look at the monitor. Look at the camera.
What camera? People have been saying good things about my beard lately.
It's a very nice beard.
Like that. A lot of people have said that today. Thank you.
No, it's a good beard.
Very distinguished. All right, let's see what the Fitchburg offense can do once I get things straightened up here. 7-6, the Red Raiders leading with 4:12 to go in the first. They go straight up the middle and up to the 45, 46-yard line. This may be the problem that St. Bernard's has tonight. Just maybe not enough kids wearing you down. Wearing you down, and there's a run right up the middle.
Great work there. I want to point out the effort by the left guard, Tyree Preston. He did a great job just pulling his man off to the left and opening up a huge hole for Sal Figueroa. Led to a 10-yard gain and a first down.
At the 46-yard line, Brooks calling for the Red Raiders, goes up the middle once again over the 50 and getting down close to the 45-yard line. Good up the middle running by Damian Nadell.
Have the Raiders attempted a pass yet?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so. But, I mean, this is Fitchburg going right up the middle. And we're going to keep, Coach Ed Sullivan would say, I'm going to keep doing it until you can stop me. Once again, power run down close to the 40-yard line.
6 yards and a first down. Move the chains.
Clock continues. Yeah, the weather has been good for this tonight as well. Brooks calling signals. Pitch back near side. Trying to cut it in, does, and picks up a pretty good gain. Sal Figueroa was the ball carrier. We got a replay coming in on that one. Here's Brooks. There's the pitch. Looking for a spot. Kind of knifes his way through. Picks up another 4 yards. Fine run by the Fitchburg High School football player, Sal Figueroa.
That's a really good crowd here in attendance for the home opener at Crocker Field. You always like to see that.
Back to pass, a throw, it's caught, down to the 20, down to the 10, and down at the 3-yard line.
Well, we were just talking about it, Dave. We didn't think the Raiders had thrown a pass all night, and St. Bernard's was not prepared for it. Take a look at this one again. A 3-step drop and a bullet delivered by Andrew Brooks right on target, and then a great move by DeLeon, and he picks up a big gain.
DeLeon was the got the mileage afterwards, and good strong run. The Red Raiders are are threatening. Down to about the 10-yard line. Pitch back near side. Cut down to the 5. Cut to the end zone. The ball was loose.
It's a touchdown.
It went right in his hands, and it's a touchdown.
He was over the plane before he dropped the ball, so it was a touchdown for Figueroa. And then a lucky break on top of it.
There it is. Ball pops up.
Right there he's across, and then he loses the ball. Good heads-up play by
Touchdown.
Antonio Ware. Fortunately, it was already a touchdown.
Gonna go for an extra point here. The snap is up, and the kick is
It's got the height, and it's good.
good. Red Raiders have got a couple of extra points, and they lead by a score of 14-6.
And now we hear from Mr. Touchdown.
See a lot of the students. John had mentioned a lot of students out tonight, which is nice to see.
Yeah, the near side crowd is almost full, which you always like to see. And St. Bernard's is well represented as well. They've got a fair few fans over on the far sideline as well.
After the touchdown, the Red Raiders will kick it away.
Raider
It's
along
a
the ground.
pooch kick that bounces up to the 30-yard line, back to the 25, and they're going to say that he went down. His knee went down at the 23-yard line.
Tough break there for Ja'Kai Alexander. He picked the ball up, at about his own
Down
29-yard
the
line, but
ball
he was
at the
running backward. Finally
22-yard
started
line
turning
with
upfield
31st
at the
and 10.
22,
St.
but he
Bernard.
slipped and fell. And once your knee hits, you're down.
1:06 left in the quarter.
So not very good field position for St. Bernard's on this drive. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Put it right at the 22-yard line. Gonna keep it. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about all. Making the stop for the Red Raiders was Alexis Rivera. Probably one more play left in the first quarter.
You would think.
Kind of, tough, but this is your first night, and, you've been practicing hard, and, it's those first game stuff that always happens, and we've seen it tonight, certainly. Back to line of scrimmage, not far at all.
That looked like a designed quarterback run all the way, and the Raiders were ready for it. Absolutely no room at all for Dominic Valera to work.
A little bit of a hole, but it closed up quickly.
Well, that's what happens when you run into Ron Fernandez. He's a big boy.
He is, got it, senior. And that will do it. Or is he going to call a timeout here? Nope.
Nope,
That's
that'll
the
be
end.
the end of the first quarter.
End of the first quarter with the score, Fitchburg High School 14 and St. Bernard's 6.
And really, Dave, this has been a very impressive first quarter of the season for the Raiders, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They are just moving the ball at will. There's nothing St. Bernard's has done to stop them.
There's Tom DiGeronimo, the new head coach of the Red Raiders. In his day when he was back there coaching, had some pretty good records, pretty good record under him, and he's a lot of people very, very much respected in Central Mass football and all the work that he does at the high school during the day. At halftime, I think we're going to take a little look, thank Tom Shea for his contributions here at Crocker Field. There might be a small ceremony for that.
Absolutely. Also, we have Alex Bogdasarian. He's going to be getting some interviews for us, so look forward to that.
Well, I think we're about ready to start the second quarter, and with all that action is John Gugarty.
Thank you very much, Dave. We start the second quarter of action here. 3rd down and 7 for St. Bernard's. They're at their own 24-yard line. They need to get to the 31. Not much doing for them on the first 2 plays of this drive. And they'll come to the line in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers near side left, 1 set out to the right. Now in motion to the far side goes Xavier Marty. Back to pass, throw to the right side is complete. Knocked out of bounds, but holding on to the ball. First time we've called Carter Quadrado's name tonight. He managed to hang on to that one, pick up a first down. Let's take a look at this one again.
Well, I guess they do throw a little bit. Kind of a little joke from earlier in the program.
Well-delivered ball there by Dominic Valera. Quadrado was able to make the catch at the sideline and hang on for the first down. So now 1st and 10 St. Bernard's at their own 36. They go empty backfield. Now in motion to the near side and getting the carry. Cuts it up to the near side, that's Marty, and he is brought down after a gain of a yard. Mike Naud is just all over the field on defense, Dave.
Yeah, and he was right there for Marty. He was right there on the play. Xavier Marty.
So they try something a little different, run that jet sweep. Didn't really work out. Gain of a couple. It'll be second down and about 8.
And that was a nice play by Mike Nowden. He's off to a great start today. Playing very well for the Red Raiders.
Empty backfield once again for St. Bernard's. Now in motion to the far side goes Morales, and he's the ball carrier. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. He's going to get to the line of scrimmage and no further than that. Good swarming defense. An entire pirate ship of Raiders bringing him down.
Well, Walter Morales Jr., he is the one that got in on this, just couldn't hold on that extra second. And made a nice play, but Morales just missed him.
So St. Bernard's now facing 3rd down and 6. There's our favorite fan.
I was going to let you handle that one.
3rd and 6 for St. Bernard's. Motion to the near side comes Morales. Quarterback keeps it himself. Valera brought down in the backfield. Loss of a couple. Again, swarming defense by the Raiders, led by Mike Now.
Mike Now again. Right on this play, and he just kind of slowed everything down until everybody could catch up, and he finished it.
You know what, Dave? Nowd was the guy who made the initial hit, but Andres Stefanakos did a great job crashing in and forcing the quarterback to go wide rather than letting him cut it upfield. St. Bernard's now will probably, yeah, they are setting up to punt. 4th down and 8 at their own 38.
Whoa!
High snap, they're going to try to run for it.
Now he hesitated, and he got rid of it. And that punt really went nowhere at all. He was unable to do it.
That was Maxwell Bigelow who
Here it is.
threw the ball.
We see that in replay. I thought we were about ready to see that, guys.
There really just is no kicking game at all for St. Bernard's. You know, they went for a 2-point conversion after they scored the touchdown. They did a little pooch kick the one time they had to kick off. And that time, 4th and 8 in their own territory, and they can't even punt the ball. So now Fitchburg High, rather, will take over 1st down at the St. Bernard's 38.
That's a foursome that you don't even know. You don't want to know that foursome right there. Right at the middle, there goes a flag.
Flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. This one might be coming back, but for right now, Figueroa's at the 10-5. He is in. Touchdown Raiders, but we'll check the flag.
I think they'll be bringing it back. Let's see what the call is here.
The flags were thrown right at the snap.
Yeah, very quick. And
it's a chop block against the Raiders. This one's coming back.
St. Bernard's just kind of hanging in there, down by 8.
By the skin of their teeth, they
hoping
hang.
that maybe at halftime they can rest and relax, and who knows. But they're giving it the old try, I'll tell you, even with the, not too many kids they have. These kids are playing hard.
So after the penalty, it'll be 1st and 25 for Fitchburg High. They're back in their own territory at the 47, and they need to get all the way to the St. Bernard's 28. I formation behind Andrew Brooks. Delayed handoff, straight up the middle goes Figueroa. He's hit initially.
Oh, keep going, wow.
And now it's a rugby scrum.
He got 10 yards out of it.
The Raider offensive line just all piled up and pushed Carlos Figueroa for a gain of about 10 yards. I'm sorry, Sal Figueroa for a gain of about 10 yards.
There it is, little draw. Right up the middle, and here comes the pushing. A lot of red, not too many white.
Yeah, we got more guys than you, and our guys are bigger than you, so we're going to push our guy. So after that good gain, it brings up a manageable 2nd down and 15 for Fitchburg High. Play fake to the fullback, handoff to Figueroa. Breaks through to maybe about the initial line of scrimmage. Just a little short of that. We'll call it 3rd down and 11 coming up.
Getting a little breather on that far sideline. Sal Figueroa.
Checking in for the Raiders in his stead is Caleb Smith. First time we've called his name tonight. Looks like it's also Mike Nowd in the backfield now for Fitchburg High. 3rd down and 11 for the Raiders. Brooks back to pass, looks to his left, throws long. Jump ball overthrown, incomplete. He was looking for Devin DeLeon, and it'll be 4th down for Fitchburg High. First time we've really seen Brooks air it out, Dave. He had a short pass that turned into a big game, but that was the first time he really went deep.
Yeah, just out of the reach.
Pretty good protection for the Raider offensive line. Just a little overthrown by Brooks, I think. Now, kind of an interesting decision for the Raiders. 4th down at the St. Bernard's 39. I kind of think you kick it here.
I say you go. You're at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, but it's high school. It's not like you have a kid who can punt the ball 40 yards, do you?
I say go.
Yeah.
Let it roll 17 yards.
Those sound like the words of a man whose team is dominating this football game. And you know what? You're right. Fitchburg High kind of is.
Let's go.
And they will go indeed.
Put them away right here.
4th down and 11 for the Raiders. They'll go I formation, 2 receivers. Brooks back to pass. He throws to his left. Pass is caught. Got to get creative to get a first down. And DeLeon is not going to do it. He is swarmed. Brought down at about the 34-yard line. Fitchburg turns it over on downs.
DeLeon was the guy that got it, number 9. There's that pass on the far side. There he is. Close to that shirt right around the neck, but we'll let that one go.
It's a well-executed pass, but it's 4th and 11, and you throw a 6-yard pass.
Well, hopefully being, after the carry. What do they call that?
After the catch.
ATC, after the carry? I have no idea. But the ball, anyways, goes down to the 14, or 13, actually, and St. Bernard's will take over.
So St. Bernard's gets a stop on defense, and now they'll look to tie this game up. 1st and 10 for them at their own 33-yard line. Dominic Valera under center. Motion to the near side, and we've got whistles before the snap. False start against St. Bernard's. So that's not what you wanted if you're a fan of St. Bernard's. Coach Tom Bingham, back you up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 now.
What a great job Coach Bingham has done in his time at St. Bernard's. I know any time that, be it radio or TV, anytime I did an interview with him, he was always very cordial, obviously knew his step, loved his job at St. Bernard's. And I think he's top shelf. He really a top shelf guy.
1st and 15 now for St. Bernard's. Quadrado comes in motion to the near side.
Whoa.
Fumbled exchange. Ball is still loose. I think Quadrado fell on it.
That was 1 against 5.
But that is a big loss for St. Bernard's.
St. Bernard's ball. They still have the ball.
Carter Quadrado finally fell on that. We'll take a look at this one again. What the heck happened here?
Did he slip? Because I'm wondering if it's a little... No. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't expecting that at all.
It looked like a design toss to Quadrado, and he just wasn't ready for it.
Even our director in the booth could figure that out.
Well, the folks at home can't hear John Dextrace.
Oh, there's a line for that, but there's no way I'm touching that.
Nope. The good news is I get to steal all of his insights and present them as my own. So that's nice.
There's the cheerleaders. We could see some of the people down at the cheering section if they could do that. Always enjoyable.
Oh, do I get to play faces in the crowd?
If you'd like to be.
I'm terrible at faces in the crowd. I don't know anybody.
There's a couple of sections there that are filled with faces in the crowd. We could do that a little later.
Okay.
or the concession stand. I think is this the kind of weather you can be a bit dehydrated? I don't know if it's
If you're
it's
playing
that
football, anybody can be dehydrated,
yeah.
I think.
I think that's why he kind of took a time out here and gather himself.
Well, I'm sure, especially for St. Bernard's, you've had a penalty and then a huge negative play. You're facing 2nd down and 22 at your own 22. This game is almost out of hand right now. It's not a bad time to take a breather and reassess things. 2nd and 22 for St. Bernard's. Pitch goes to the far side. That's Walter Morales Jr. with a nice gain. Flag comes down here on the near sideline that was thrown. We'll take a look at this one again.
Big hole. Block kind of missed there. And then 3 red shirts and 1 white shirt.
So it's a gain of about 9, and then a sideline warning was issued against Fitchburg High.
Oh, I know. Oh, this is when you really could. I could have used that that Madden thing where I make circles.
You want to telestrate the mayor?
Oh.
Is that what's going on here?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
But that will not happen, unfortunately, because I don't have one.
It's probably for the best. And now another timeout called by St. Bernard's.
Okay. They've
Well,
Mr. Flynn, my cohort, who usually is here, has a definite opinion about that particular thing. With the 10 TV timeouts and all like that.
Your second timeout of the drive when it's 3rd down and 13. Yeah, that's something.
Guys, our director, I don't know if you can get down that far to where that is now lit under the grandstand. Can we tell? We'll see how it looks there.
It looks a little brighter. I still wouldn't want to play football down there, to be honest with you. But, I'm 30 years old and out of shape. I don't want to play football.
Oh, there
ever.
it is. Yeah, okay.
Well, they do have that portable stanchion set up. You see that on the left there.
Well, that section's pretty much taken care of. And
yeah. That kind of thing isn't going to do much for a football field, though. I mean, it's so far back.
No, but I think, at least somebody was thinking and said, let's try this. So,
yeah.
Congratulations. Kudos to the Fitchburg Fire Department.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll 5:35 to play in the first half. Fitchburg leading 14-6. And you've got a 2nd and 13 coming up.
It is actually 3rd and 13 as marked on the field.
Pardon me.
It's not your fault. Valero rolls to his left, passes high and intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Perez. He takes it back down the near sideline. He goes in untouched. Touchdown Raiders.
No flags.
Isaiah Perez with a pick 6. We'll take a look at this one again.
Rolling out to the near side, throwing on the run. Just couldn't get up an inch or two, and look who's got it. Perez all the way down the near sideline, and a Red Raider touchdown.
Pass was just a little bit overthrown. Nothing Quadrado could do. He tried to get up for it. And then Isaiah Perez was Johnny on the spot. The ball falls in his lap, and he goes in basically untouched. And now the Raiders will take a timeout. It had been almost 2 whole football plays since our last timeout.
Yeah. Tell them that I think they've got to make it.
Guys in the truck are having fun.
Hey, that's
Which you should be having fun.
On
The Raiders are up by 2
Friday
touchdowns.
night, Friday night, yeah.
It's the first game of the season.
How are
We're
the
happy
Red
to be
Sox
back.
doing? Does anybody know?
I have no idea, but I have the MLB at Bat app, so let me sit here and vamp for a moment as I open the app, and I'll check the score for you. Hey, how about them Patriots? They kind of got shellacked.
They'll be okay.
The Red Sox are leading 3-0 in the third inning, and I don't want to jinx anything. It's a little early. I'll just say this. Drew Pomeranz has a no-hitter going.
Ooh, wow.
It's the third inning.
Well, we'll keep it.
Extra point attempt is up and up and up, and it is good.
Hey, we got a kickoff.
Damian Saavedra,
Watch
3
out.
out of 3 tonight.
Watch out, the Red Raiders have a kickoff.
I tell you what, Dave, that's probably good from, what, 30 yards out?
I don't know. I overdo that. All I know is when the referee puts the arms up, it's good. Right, cheerleaders? There you go. They're all yours.
Give a great big cheer. The Raiders are running away with this one, 21-6 over St. Bernard's. 5:20 to play here in the second quarter.
And I think that before the game, we were talking about, not many St. Bernard's players, but playing with heart and playing hard. And you can see they're starting to wear down a little bit right here.
You know, a team like St. Bernard's, they're always playing, I don't know, right on the edge. Squib kick here by the Raiders.
Wow.
That ball is still loose.
And
I think St. Bernard's fell on it at about their own 40-yard line. But getting back to your point, Dave, St. Bernard's, as we mentioned at the top, they only have 39 men on their roster as they head into this game. They're always going to be playing right on the edges, and you get something going wrong, a busted play, a pick six, all of a sudden you're down 15 points. This could snowball for them. And, if you're Tom Bingham, if you're a fan of St. Bernard's, you certainly don't want to see that.
one of the longer halves that we've had in a while.
It doesn't help that we started 25 minutes late.
Well, I know Mike Flynn is at home taking it easy, thanking that we don't have to go through a long time.
Hand off to the far side. That's Xavier Marty, the ball carrier. Good gain for him, almost to midfield.
Going to knock him at the 48.
Marty's a junior for St. Bernard's. Give him a gain of 7. Call it second down and 3 now at the St. Bernard's 48-yard line.
And I think I heard a whistle.
Second down and 2 for St. Bernard's. They'll go shotgun. Snap comes to the near side. Oh, believe that's Marty again. He has the first down. Not much more than that, but stop the clock, move the chains.
That was a tough hit.
That was a very tough hit.
Ooh. Oh, there's the guys that. Well, I think I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to get in trouble if I'm going to.
You're going to get in trouble. It's the first game of the season, Dave. Don't get us in trouble.
No.
You're going to get me in trouble. You have tenure. I'm the new guy. First down carry for St. Bernard's is Walter Morales Jr. He gets across the line of scrimmage, not much more than that. Gain of a couple for the sophomore Morales. St. Bernard's trying to stay in this one. They really, if you're a believer in momentum, you think St. Bernard's really needs a score before you go into halftime here. They're down 21-6 now with 3.5 minutes to play in the half.
Coach told me that they was so, with the way things are, everybody's getting their shirts and everything's getting fixed, that they got their shirts, game shirts, yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
That's cutting it close.
And Valera couldn't get his feet under him. He slipped and fell.
They're getting a little slippy out there, maybe. I don't know. A little dewy? Is that what they say?
I don't think it's dewy.
Dew.
It's not humid enough to be dewy, is it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think it is either.
It could be Huey or Louie, but I don't think it's dewy. DuckTales joke? No? Over your head?
I was watching the coach over there.
Danny Bolak would have got that. I'm sorry, that was feed. Valera fell down after a loss of about 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 14 for St. Bernard's. Empty backfield for St. Bernard's. 4 receivers and a tight end, excuse me. Valera rolls to his right. He wanted to keep it himself, but he ran right into a couple of Raiders. I think Austin English was the first man to hit him. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So now for St. Bernard's, I mean, on the one hand, it's 4th and 13, and you're in your own territory, so you really think you would kick it away. On the other hand, can you even kick it away? Deep snap. Maxwell Bigelow's got the ball, and he does kick it. That's a pretty good kick. Short kick, fair catch is made at about the 28-yard line. 25-yard punt. It's not bad for him. So Fitchburg High will take over 1st and 10 with a minute 44 to play in this one.
Yeah, and they're in control at this time and looking for maybe one more, but if they don't, there's the people in the crowd tonight. Maybe we can, boys and girls downstairs, can maybe we can check in on some people.
I see the Raider down
people
there.
Will look. You would have believed how this feature has now gone big time.
First down handoff for the Raiders goes to Sal Figueroa. He breaks 1 tackle and is brought down after a gain of about 5. Looks like the Raiders are going to be content to play conservative, run out the clock here.
Yeah.
We do want to mention once again, folks, at halftime they're going to be honoring Tommy Shea after 35 years here at Fitchburg High. Alex Bogdasarian is also going to be here getting some interviews for you.
And you know, Fitchburg's got a lot. Even though things are okay and things are fine for the Red Raiders right now, they still got to definitely come out fired up for the second half.
Play action on 2nd down. Pass is complete. Sorry, Dave.
Well, we're still within a game here at 21-6.
Oh, absolutely. It is a 2-score game. This is, Fitchburg has really dominated play, but, 2 things go wrong, and this is a tie ball game. I am by no means intimating that this game is over or anything like that.
Oh, spike it.
Fitchburg will spike the ball, stop the clock with 56 seconds to play. So I guess they're going to try a quick 2-minute drill, or a 1-minute drill now. Kind of brings the, you kind of question the decision on 1st down to just hand the ball off.
I don't
if
know.
You were thinking if something goes right, we're going to spike it and try to score.
I think he might just put a knee down. It's what, 2nd and 10?
Well, the Raiders do still have 1 timeout, 56 seconds to work with. And hey, they've got a kicker. They could conceivably get to within field goal range. Raiders are at their own 39-yard line. They need at least 40 to get into field goal range, probably more than that. Brooks will go from the shotgun. No, he will not. There's motion before the snap. That'll put a damper on things. Make it 2nd down and 15 now.
Well, this morning in our area, I thought, saw some rain in our area this morning and thought, wow, they're not predicting that for today. And it cleared up rather nicely.
Mm-hmm.
We got here nice and early. And
it was a beautiful day. I was driving in from Springfield this afternoon. It was just gorgeous. 2nd down and 15 now after the false start. Raiders go in the I formation. Delayed handoff to Sal Figueroa. Cuts up the near side. Ducks out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Is he still in? I thought he ducked out.
Oh, yeah.
They'll give him forward progress to about the 48-yard line.
That's a tired team because they had a couple of times they had him lined up.
And that's not what you want to see if you're St. Bernard's.
Yeah, couldn't push him out or anything.
It's the second quarter and your guys are already showing signs of fatigue.
Yeah.
Does not bode well. 3rd down and 1 for the Raiders. They're at their own 48-yard line. I formation behind Brooks. Figueroa is the deep man. Brooks will throw. Pass to the right side is intercepted. Picked off by Walter Morales Jr. He's got a run back. 45, does a spin move. He's at the 40, 35. Morales is finally brought down at the 30-yard line. And what were we saying, Dave? 2 things go wrong. There's thing number 1. St. Bernard's now picks off the ball, and they have excellent field position.
Much different locker room when they go in at halftime. Wow. Here's your replay.
Take a look at this one again. 3rd down and 1. The Raiders
Overthrew
opt to throw.
Yeah, overthrew him.
Pass looked like it was intended for J.C. Rosario, but a great job by Morales to make the pick and then get an excellent return. And now St. Bernard's is set up at the Fitchburg 31 with 2 timeouts and 33 seconds with which to work.
Well, I don't know about timeouts, what they got there. I don't know if the guys...
Pitch to the near side. It's going to throw it.
Wow.
Morales' pass is intercepted. No, they're going to call it incomplete.
He got clobbered.
Morales got crushed as he threw. The pass was intended for Maxwell Bigelow, and then it popped up into, I believe that was Mendez Morrison on coverage for the Raiders, who almost had a pick.
I think he's going to take a timeout. He got hammered on that, and now he wants to take a little
yeah, Morales is heading to the sideline.
Can we take a look at that? At the last... They had a kind of a close angled shot, and boy, did he go down. Well, he didn't go down, but he was...
2nd down and 10 now for St. Bernard's.
Almost out of it.
Valera back to pass. He throws to his right. Pass is caught, but are they going to call it a reception? They are. Clock continues to move, finally stops. 13.9 seconds left in the half here as St. Bernard's takes their 4th timeout.
(21-6). So maybe what? Sit on it? What? I mean, take a.
They've got to take a shot for the end zone. I mean, it's such a big swing in momentum. You've had the interception, you had the return. You're down 15 points against, frankly, a more talented team. I think you've got to take at least a shot at the end zone here, probably 2.
There's Coach DiGeronimo talking with one of the officials, kind of taps him in the back and move on. Yeah, coming up on like 8:30, which is really long for a high school football game.
It is unusual for a high school football game to have a half of football played in what's going to wind up being an hour and 15 minutes. Even accounting for the late start, this is
now we got something else going on.
A slow-moving football game. This is a very long timeout. Well, once again, it is the first game for everybody. Except the fans here at Crocker Field. They are in mid-season form.
Yeah, they're having a fun night.
So for St. Bernard's, it is 2nd down and 3. 3rd down, excuse me.
Yeah,
third down. 3. At the 24-yard line, but they're also facing the clock. 14 seconds left. High snap. Going to throw for the end zone. Pass is overthrown and incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Ja'Kai Alexander. Not a really good throw there by Dominic Valera. But with 8 seconds left, there's still time for one more shot at the end zone for St. Bernard's. And this would be a big swing in momentum for them if they can get this in, make it a one-score game.
Yeah, if they can make it back safely to the locker room. Pretty pooped, I would imagine, at this point of the game.
So one more play for St. Bernard's.
Gonna air
That's
it
actually a different signal caller. I think that's Dominic Cuervas under center.
Oh.
And there's a false start. False start against St. Bernard's. That'll back him up 5 yards. Doesn't really change much. I mean, it's still, 8 seconds left. You got to run a play for the end zone. Oh, correction. That's going to be a defensive penalty against Fitchburg State. So that's 5 more yards in the other direction.
That's your Fitchburg State buzzer. Ding.
I said Fitchburg State, didn't I? Curses. I haven't called them the Falcons yet.
What did they do here?
What happened was, I believe the defensive lineman jumped over the line of scrimmage, which caused the center to flinch, which caused the whistle. But that's a defensive foul. One play for the end zone. Cuervas throws to the right, pass is tipped and falls incomplete. Fitchburg High is going to have to take a knee to end the half, but for all intents and purposes, it is 21-6 as we head into the locker rooms. St. Bernard's turns the ball over on downs. Didn't they? My apologies. The defensive penalty gave St. Bernard's a first down. So they get another shot. That's fine. It's not like I'm calling a football game here. It's the first game of the season for everybody. I don't know if you've heard that. So St. Bernard's gets another shot at the end zone. Cuervas back to pass under a lot of pressure, ducks to his right, throws to the end zone, double covered and incomplete. And that will take us to halftime. So Fitchburg High with a rather dominant first half. They go into the locker rooms leading this one 21-6. And what have you seen from the Red Raiders so far, Dave, that you like?
Actually, they came out ready to go. And, even after that delay, but the delay works for both teams. And they came out and ready to go. They first drive, boom, all the way down. And there's the mayor just making an appearance. I think he would have to probably making his proclamations to Tom Shea in a little ceremony that's coming your way in a moment.
I think I see Stephen Hay down there as well.
Yep, Stephen
Is he still
Hay.
the city council president?
No,
I
Steve
apologize.
is in Boston. It's, in that special election they had, and he won, and he goes to Boston every day repeating this. Or
I'm going to plead ignorance because I live in Springfield, and I'm sorry.
okay. Now, Ray Kazan is Ray, and we'll try to get as much of this as you can, audio and you see the group of about 10 there. There's Marcus Pinatelli. He would get out of the way.
But it really is a heck of a moment for Tommy, and very well deserved.
Oh, here it is.
At this time, we ask you to direct your attention to midfield. On behalf of the City of Pittsburgh Public Schools, and the Pittsburgh High School Athletic Department, we would like to welcome Tom Shea, his wife Nancy, and his sons Jonathan, Ethan, and Nathan. Tom has worked for the Pittsburgh Public Schools for 35 years, most of which as caretaker for historic soccer field, and has retired this past June. Tom did an amazing job making sure soccer was always in great playing shape for our athletes, and in great condition for all the fans that visited over the years. He took pride in this historic site and has been instrumental in its restoration and upkeep. At this time, the Honorable Mayor of Pittsburgh, Steve DiMichele, will present a citation from the City of Pittsburgh. Also with us tonight, Representative Stephen Hay is here to present Tom with a citation from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. On behalf of the Pittsburgh Public Schools, Athletic Director Ray Cassandra will now present a Red Raider tie and a Red Raider watch, symbolic of all the time Tommy has spent keeping Crocker Field the jewel that it is. Pittsburgh High School in the city of Pittsburgh wish Tom Shea the best luck in his retirement. Let's have a nice round of applause for Mr. Tom Shea and his family. Congratulations, Tom.
And we're on here at halftime here at Fitchburg, and Fitchburg leads St. Bernard's here. And opening night, it's a beautiful atmosphere here, a beautiful night, joined by a cast of characters here. Tommy Shea, honored here, 35 years, groundskeeper, Mayor Dean Natali of Fitchburg. We have the Raider Nico, Eileen, the later Raider, and Mayor Roach and Principal Roach. Glad to have you guys here. No. Well, glad to have you guys. Now, what stood out to me so far is the big crowds, and Principal Roach, I just want to get your thoughts, first of all, on just having football back here in Fitchburg, and what stood out to you so far about the crowds.
Well, the crowd is outstanding. It's a great night for football here at Fitchburg High School, Crocker Field. We're thrilled to be playing an intercity rival with St. Bernard's. But get down to Crocker Field. We got a game next Friday. The atmosphere, the spirit is amazing. Our fan section, led by Nico and Eileen, is outstanding. Get down here, have a good time.
And Nico and Eileen, I just want to ask you guys, I know there's a lot of energy in the crowds brought by you guys and with the class here. What's the atmosphere been at school like, getting ready for really an all-Fitchburg matchup here?
Well, I thought, to me, at the beginning of the week, it was a little slow. Not many people knew about what was going on. But Eileen and I got on Twitter, started posting it, got a bunch of retweets. And throughout the week, it just started picking up, building up. You could hear the people in their voices. Are you going to the football game? Asking teachers, are you going to the football game? What's this? Are you going to this? And then, yeah.
Yeah, we were both scared that, we haven't seen a fan section this big in a while. So us two coming in as Lady Raiders and Raider, we both thought, like, hey, how are we going to do this? We haven't seen a fan section in so long, like this big, this major. How are we going to get everyone involved? And the first thing we thought of was the stomach painting. I literally thought I was just going to have Fitchburg. But as soon as I spread the word, everyone got involved. Even the people we barely talked to. It's all about getting everyone involved because FHS has enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's great to see the enthusiasm back here tonight for Fitchburg football. It's very, very refreshing to see. And Mayor, bring you in. What is this like for the city overall? I know your daughter and your son went to Fitchburg High, but now that you're mayor of Fitchburg, I mean, what does it mean to you seeing an intercity rival like St. Bernard's right here at Crocker Field?
Well, as everyone's been saying, you look at the crowd. This is an inner city event. Now, I don't know how many years ago it was. When I went to St. Bernard's, we played Fitchburg, and but it's been a long time since we played them, and I think it's a great addition. As you can see, no one's got more energy than these two young folks right here. You said the energy in the school? Most of it's with you, I think. Good for you. That's great. But you're right. Big crowds. It's great. Bring people down. Let's raise more money for the band. Every time you go to the concession stand, oh, by the way, the concession stand, newly renovated, brand new facility, state of the art. Come down and see it. Spend your money. Help out the school. And
Tommy Shea's here. Congratulations on your award tonight. 35 years here at Crocker Field. What do you think about on a night like tonight, seeing St. Bernard's in town and your beloved Red Raiders?
It's great. It's great. The crosstown rivalry has always been a thing to draw people here, and it's a great night. I mean, the weather's perfect. The kids are out having a good time, and this is what it's all about. Friday night football.
Well, congratulations on all your years. Appreciate it very much. And that's going to wrap it up for us at halftime. Let's send it back up to the booth for the second half of Fitchburg and St. Bernard's.
Okay, there's a little halftime show for you. Dave Clark here alongside John Gogarty, and Fitchburg leading at the half 21-6. Second half just about ready to begin. And John will be standing for that in a second. It was a nice halftime with all sorts of different things going on, and people running all over the place and having a nice fun on a Friday night.
Tommy Shea getting a very well-deserved commendation. 35
Yes.
years of service here in Fitchburg.
Yeah, well, we always get to the games really early, usually around 4:30 or so, and Tommy's, of course, already here, and he's getting ready, but it's been a pleasure to work with him over the years, and I'm sure we'll get a few more times together, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So we'll
All right, I'll pass along to John. Third quarter about ready to begin, and with the third quarter action, John Gogarty.
Thank you very much, Dave Clark. We'll start the third quarter of action here. Fitchburg in the red, kicking off, going from left to right. Low kick brought in at about the 36-yard line for St. Bernard's. That's number 30, Maxwell Bigelow, on the return. He gets out to about the 45-yard line. And for St. Bernard's, Dave, this is a really important drive. They're down by 2 scores here. They've got to stay in this one.
Yep, no question. Somebody mentioned what St. Bernard's, who they play next week. Did you get that?
I did not get that.
They've always got the most interesting of teams that they play, because it's very difficult for them to find an equal team. More on that in a second.
First and 10 for St. Bernard's. Hands-off goes to the right side. Losing the football is the ball carrier, Xavier Marty.
They say he's down.
They're going to say he was down. Bit of a break for St. Bernard's there. They'll retain possession after a gain of about 4.
But I mentioned that St. Bernard's always has a tough time getting the schedule together. They go all over the place. And now, a little bit different. Haven't played St. Bernard's in a long time, but they're playing tonight.
Yeah,
and after seeing what's going on here, I'd do it again.
Yeah. No, this is, Fitchburg has controlled this game, but it's not a slaughter or anything. It's just, it's a good football game. I'd like to see it again. Whistles kill the play before the snap. I think the Fitchburg defense knew it was a false start before the officials did, but it is a false start against St. Bernard's. So we'll drop it back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 coming up for the fellows from St. Bernard's. Real quick, once again, we do want to pass along our best wishes to Mike Flynn. Mike is under the weather. Hopefully he'll be with us next week here at Crocker Field. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff as the Raiders take on Shepherd Hill. Second down and 10 for St. Bernard's. Hands off goes to the fullback, and he is dropped back, not even getting to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard. It'll bring up third down and 11.
It's Benjamin Shaw. Move that ball back to the 44-yard line.
Good work by Rocco Archipredi on the defense for the Red Raiders. Got there in the backfield, brought down Shaw before he could get back to the line of scrimmage. Now third down and 11 for St. Bernard's. Dominic Valera, the quarterback, under center. Handoff goes to the near side. Getting across midfield, but brought down before the first down is Xavier Marty. And we'll take a look at this one again.
Xavier Marty, number 5. Excellent coverage by everybody working tonight at FHTV. Very nice.
The all-volunteer crew of Fitchburg Access Television doing outstanding work as always, bringing you the sights and sounds of this game live from Crocker Field.
We're a little short-handed too, but some of the other guys picked it up.
Fourth down and 4 now for St. Bernard's. Marty, the ball carrier, is in a lot of trouble, and he is driven back. Tackled at about the St. Bernard's 44-yard line. The Red Raider defense comes up with a stop. Take a look at this one.
Just heading to the far side. Looking where he's going to make his cut. A little stiff arm there. Leaning forward and kind of rubbed out on that play.
That was Antonio Ware, who finally just boxed Marty in and left him with no place to go. He was finally swarmed by the Raiders. Now first and 10 for Fitchburg High. Andrew Brooks, the quarterback for the Raiders. And my goodness, it had been 3 whole plays. We have to call timeout. Timeout, yeah. St. Bernard's.
Yeah, been a lot of them. We haven't checked the Red Sox tonight, have we?
Last we heard, they were up 6-0, and Drew Pomeranz had a no-hitter through 4 whole innings.
Okay.
So I will reload my MLB at-bat app. It is now 7-0 Red Sox. So that game's a laugher. Don't turn into that one. Stay right here on FATV.
But he still has a no-hitter?
Through 4 innings. But, you know.
All right. Well.
I formation for Fitchburg High behind Brooks. Sal Figueroa is the deep man. Play action fake. No, it is a handoff to the fullback straight up the middle. Fooled me, and I think it fooled St. Bernard's as well. Good gain for Damian Nadal, and that'll be a Red Raider first down.
Sure, we'll take a look at that play. Here it is. That nice little misdirection.
Nothing terribly fancy about it. Just a little handoff straight up the middle to the fullback, but it's good for 10 yards and a first down.
He's got the gold shoes on. You see that?
Those are very nice shoes.
If I had my telestrator there, I would have had it.
Okay, so you want to telestrate the mayor, and you want to telestrate a kid's shoes.
Put it on the budget. What's wrong with
You're
that?
on the board of directors, man. What's wrong here?
Near side. Here we go.
Sal Figueroa breaks 1 tackle. Good work by him just to get positive yardage out of that. Looked like he was going to lose a couple. Instead, it's a gain of 7.
Here it is. And number 1 has been busy tonight. Sal Figueroa. Don't have the figures on him, but they better be pretty.
They're good.
Pretty impressive.
I'm going to go ahead and say they're good. Had a big touchdown run on the first drive, had another one that unfortunately was called back. Figueroa has been a big part of the Fitchburg High offense. On third down, it goes to the fullback again, and this time it is snuffed out.
I don't know if it was the game plan to run the ball or maybe explore a throwing situation. I don't know.
I think it's a little bit game plan and a little bit happenstance. You know, you've got a St. Bernard's team that once again only has 39 guys listed on their roster. So you have to know going in you can probably tire them out. So it certainly plays into the signal calling to establish the run game at least. And then on the first couple of drives, the Red Raiders had a lot of success with it. So just stick with it. Third down now for Fitchburg. Handoff goes to Figueroa straight up the middle. I think he's just short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th and about a yard for Fitchburg High. We'll take a look at this one again.
Yeah. Once again, it's Figueroa. Straight up the middle. Straight after.
4th down and 1. Fitchburg will go for it. They've got Nadal and Figueroa in the backfield. Andrew Books calling signals.
Timeout.
And we have, believe it or not, a timeout. Timeout by the Raiders. That's their first of the half. Each team now with 4 remaining. .5:32 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fitchburg having called their first timeout. Looking for a play call here on 4th down and 1 at the St. Bernard's 24-yard line.
I saw on the sideline. Maybe I'll get to that in just a second. Always, there's an interesting thing that they wear black with cardinal, I guess, and then Fitchburg on their.
Yeah, those are
on
new
their
warm-ups,
uniforms.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
they look nice.
They do. They look nice. They are solid. Well, real quick while I have my phone open, it is now 8-0 Red Sox.
Wow. And we still have a no-hitter on the way.
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, they just keep scoring runs, so Pomerantz hasn't even gone out to throw the 5th inning yet.
Okay.
4th down and 1 for the Raiders. Andrew Brooks under center. Ozzie Guy in motion. It's a pitch to Figueroa. He's going to get the first down and more. A huge block. An absolutely amazing block thrown by J.C. Rosario. Rosario's doing more celebrating than Figueroa is. Let's take a look at this one again.
Yeah, little pitch back, near side.
Right
that-
there.
Head down, kind of push a little bit. Got it down to the 15.
A really good run by Figueroa. Great blocking by the entire Fitchburg offensive line, but especially, and you see
They
him
gotta
there.
move that. They got to move everybody now.
And once again, folks, if you missed the start of this one, the right side of the field has been deemed unplayably dark. So once the ball is inside the 30 on the right-hand side, they stop the clock, move everybody down to the left. And now for the rest of this possession, Fitchburg High will be playing from the right to the left as they try to go in for a score that would probably put this one away. So it'll be 1st and 10 Raiders. Ball spotted at the St. Bernard's 15-yard line. 5:15 and counting left to play here in the 3rd quarter of action. I formation behind Brooks. He fumbles the snap, can't pick it up, finally grabs it. And he basically just falls on the football after a loss of a couple of yards.
Just popped right out. There it is.
Just couldn't handle the snap.
Like Keith Jackson would say, that old squiggly pig. Oh, Nelly.
If you had 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter in your first O'Nelly of the season pool, you win.
Love Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson.
2nd down and 11 for the Raiders. Quick pass to the near side is complete. Making the reception is Caleb Smith. He's across the 20. That's actually going to be a loss of a couple yards. Not much doing for him there. I'm sorry. That was Devin DeLeon on the reception. No,
There he is.
I'm sorry. Again, it was Caleb Smith.
Right at the 20.
Unfortunately, lost a couple on that play. That's going to bring up 3rd and 13.
So it'll be 3rd down and 13 for the Raiders.
19-yard line.
So far, if I'm Coach DiGeronimo, I'm pretty happy with what's going on. St. Bernard's did score, did have a score, but for the most part, Red Raiders have played pretty well.
Brooks throws to his right. That pass is caught. DeLeon with the catch. He's inside the 5, down at about the 3-yard line. It's probably the best pass Andrew Brooks has thrown all night. It'll be 1st and goal.
Going to be first and goal. 3 yards out.
Right down. That is
Just a quick little drop, throw the quick slant in. It's a well-designed and very well-executed play.
checking out of the ball game for the Red Raiders is De Leon.
Ozzie Guy steps in to replace him.
And Brooks really hasn't had a lot to do tonight. He's been efficient, which is always good. But after that first touchdown, it seemed as though Pittsburgh started to really take over.
Dave,
Yes.
you will never guess what just happened.
Uh-oh.
Fitchburg called timeout. While we have a moment,
Waiting for that.
While we have a moment here, why don't we give a chance to just thank the entire crew of FATV. Our director tonight, John Dextrays, Dave Oster running the audio board for us. Travis Falk, our technical director and supervisor. We absolutely couldn't do anything without him. And of course, our excellent camera operators. We've got Nicole Gaffney, Jared Roberts, Jill Lehman. I saw Glenn Fossa running a camera for us. You know, big thanks to the entire crew of FATV.
Yeah, you did a nice job, and if you can't make it, we're always there for you.
First and goal now for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Figueroa, looking for a hole. He lunges forward. He is in. Touchdown, Fitchburg High. It's 27-6.
Just a little power. A little power. See how we do at the field goal for the extra points. We've hit them very well.
Damian Saavedra is 3 for 3 tonight. Damian Saavedra is 4 for 4 tonight.
Whoa, okay.
It was a little lower, but that was good.
That's all right. It still counts.
That's right.
It's a penny. Not, you don't get anything extra. Cheerleaders, take it away.
Come out and start 2017 with a 28-6 lead after 3 quarters.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
We got some dignitaries coming through the press box.
It's that time in the hour where we must ask those people to leave who we're not expected to be. The usual foursome showed up. There's usually a couple of other crumbs that go along with that.
Kickoff for the Raiders goes out of bounds. That'll be a penalty.
From that. So they're going to have to kick it over again. Kick it over again. Is that correct? Is that what you just said?
I believe so. Either that or St. Bernard's will be given the ball with excellent field position. I don't know how high school handles kickoffs out of bounds. Looks like the officials aren't entirely certain either.
Nine o'clock in the Eastern Time Zone. Exactly. Of course, you'll read about it in the papers and all that tomorrow. When you read what happened earlier in this ball game with the delay of about 40 minutes.
Are we calling it a 40-minute delay now?
I think it was like a 40-minute delay.
Because they kicked off at 7:25. Is this a delay that's just going to grow the longer we get into the night?
Hey, there's the gold shoes. I love it.
First down, St. Bernard's play action fake. Valero runs to his right. Pass is low and incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Brian Hill.
Now we're seeing a lot of throwing.
Well, now there's no choice for St. Bernard's. They're down by 22 points. They've got to make something happen.
There's the just too low.
Just not a very well delivered ball by Valero.
Oh,
There's the moon.
can we get the people at the church across the street to turn on their lights? Wouldn't that be nice?
I know I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but it bears
I know
repeating.
I know some person that would do that. His initials are LN.
Second down and 10 now for St. Bernard's. Handoff goes this time to Benjamin Shaw, and he is brought down in the backfield. Absolutely nothing doing there for St. Bernard's. And we'll take a look at this one again.
Here's your replay, and ooh,
Wow.
it's like a flying.
That was Ron Fernandez shedding a block. He reached out with one hand and just pulled Shaw down.
Looked like a wrestling move, more like a belly-to-belly souffle. That's what you get in this press box. Thank heavens.
Third down and 15 for St. Bernard's. Whistles and flags at the snap. I suspect it is soon to be third down and 20 for St. Bernard's.
Go back. So next week, Fitchburg will play Shepherd Hill, I believe. Is
Yes,
that correct?
it is Shepherd Hill next week, and
that's gonna be difficult.
absolutely. And that is a 7 o'clock kickoff, unless they have awkward delays again. But we'll plan for a 7 o'clock kickoff right here on FATV. And again, if you have folks outside the Fitchburg area, they can go to fatv.org, catch all the action live. Third down handoff goes straight up the middle, gain of no important yardage, and it will be fourth and forever for St. Bernard's.
Now, did you say you had a game tomorrow? You're doing a game tomorrow?
No,
You're not.
no, we do not have a Fitchburg State game for a couple of weeks here on FATV. It will be 2 weeks from tomorrow, the Fitchburg State home opener.
Okay, is that part of what do they call that? Bread baking
Family weekend?
Yeah, that sounds right. And I think it's
Geez, you would think that we would know, given that one of us works for
Yeah.
the college and the other has been calling games for 8 years. You'd really think we would know.
well, there's a long story that I will
Is a very
not go.
is a very good reason we don't know. Oh, there's a bit of timeout called.
Well. Can we see the Jackie Gleason moon over there? Guys downstairs.
Speaking of Fitchburg State, their press box is not as nice as this press box. I like this
no,
press box a
no,
lot.
Not even close.
And I'm not just saying that because I have all the room in the world in this press box.
Look at that over there. Wow. That's
That is a very pretty moon.
it is, isn't it? Now, is that what they call a harvest moon?
Possibly. That sounds right. It's harvest season,
Harvest
isn't
season.
it?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know things about moons. Yeah, that's a harvest moon. I totally didn't have that fed to me by the truck. Fourth down for St. Bernard's, and they will kick it away. Pretty good punt, picked up,
Ooh,
well, finally fallen on at midfield.
he got a little too close to that ball. Kind of surprised they didn't throw a flag on that.
It was a pretty
any-
stiff block.
Here it is. Okay, there goes the bounce. Still, you shouldn't even be that close, but he was real close to turning that ball over. That
Unfortunately
was
for
D. Jones.
Fortunately for Fitchburg, their man managed to fall on the ball, and the Red Raiders will take over first and 10 at their own 49. I formation behind Andrew Brooks, and my goodness, we have a timeout on the field. We'll looks like it's Mike Nowd who was in the backfield for Fitchburg High. You might see a little bit less of Sal Figueroa as this game goes on.
Number 5, I think, has played a pretty good game tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good.
Especially on defense. We were calling a lot of Mike Nowd early on in this one.
Yep.
Now he gets a chance as the tailback. First down carry goes to Mike Nowd, and he's got a big hole. One block, he's going to go untouched. Hey, you, get off of Mike Nowd. Touchdown Raiders.
Oh. Nice play and a beautiful, some beautiful blocks up front. And then he took off. Here it is. Look.
They just run a little counter to the right side.
Boy, he right behind him. 52, I believe that
Tyree
was.
Preston had 30 yards of running before he had anybody to hit. Mike Nowd went in untouched.
Well, hey, let's see what the kicker can do here.
Damian Saavedra in to attempt his 5th extra point of the game.
Here we go.
And Nowd is the holder. Snap down. Kick is up.
Oh, look good.
It is high. It is good.
Ooh, man.
35-6 for the Red Raiders.
Well, it's maybe. When's the last time we saw somebody hit 5 extra points?
For Fitchburg.
I don't know.
Let's hear once again from Mr. Touchdown.
Please do.
Did not, because I'm very bad at it. We could try.
We should, absolutely. I mean, the game was 35-6.
Sure.
And I find that too dark?
No, it's not too dark.
Oh, there's people right there. Well, if they come up, I'll do them, and if I don't come up, then I won't do them.
So, Dave, I have a conclusion. This is based on flawless scientific evidence. Are you ready for this?
No, but I'll go ahead.
I am a good luck charm.
You are.
I must call every game for Fitchburg High from now until the end of time. Because obviously, I mean, it can't just be that the football team is very good or anything.
35-6. Yeah, here we. Yeah, during little breaks, sure. Say hi to everybody.
You do know that the people at home can only hear one side of this conversation you're having with our director, right?
No, I don't think they do. Look at this.
Oh, a big return for St. Bernard's here.
Wow.
That's Carter Quadrado breaking
race.
into the open field.
Oh, ran out of gas. Flags go down. Everybody's got their flag down.
Flags on the tackle, but none at the initial site of the return. This is a big play for St. Bernard's.
Here we go. Right about the 18. And then, woo, you talk about, he accelerates. Number 2 runs him down from behind. Right there.
That's pretty obviously a face mask, but a big return for Carter Quadrado. St. Bernard's tries to get a little positive out of this game, at least, trailing 35-6 with a minute to play here in the 4th quarter. So St. Bernard's is all the way down at the Red Raider 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for them.
Well, it's at the 15-yard line.
New quarterback for St. Bernard's, that's Dominic Cuervas. He's a sophomore. Handoff goes up along the near side, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown St. Bernard's, that's Xavier Marty. One play, 15 yards, 6 points for St. Bernard's. And it's a little more respectable, 35-12 now.
I was going to say, after a slow start, but, I mean, Fitchburg really did not have a slow start at all. They came out of the...
No, Fitchburg scored on their first possession.
Yeah, but so did St. Bernard's, I believe.
That is true.
Second, so, I mean...
It breaks a string of, I believe, 28 unanswered points. Now St. Bernard's will go for 2.
Wow.
And this time Cuervas is brought down hard.
Wow.
Conversion attempt no good.
Ooh.
Edwin Rivera just broke through the offensive line, and there was basically nothing Dominic Cuervas could do about that. Just a big explosive play from the junior D lineman Rivera.
What?
I have terrible news, Dave.
Uh-oh.
Drew Pomeranz has lost his no-hitter.
Oh.
Jesus Sucre hit a 2-run home run to make it 8-2 Red Sox.
Typical.
So now there is absolutely no reason to watch the baseball game. We encourage you to stay here on FATV. So 35-12 for the Raiders. St. Bernard's will kick off. Can see Fitchburg is prepared for a short kick, maybe a pooch, maybe an onside. They don't have anybody further deep than the 20-yard line. Bouncing kick picked off at the 25 by Mike Nowd. Cuts to the near side, spins out of a tackle, and finally brought down at about the 43 after a decent return.
Maybe time for 1 or 2 plays here?
I figure they'll hand it off a couple times.
I would think so. You would.
Hey, my hometown, Marlboro High School, victorious tonight, 28-7.
And a smattering in the crowd.
Well, you know, somebody here cares, kind of.
Was that game at Doyle Field?
I don't know.
Not too often they get spanked around that place, I'll tell you. But I'm not sure it is or not.
But still, yay Marlboro, says the guy who grew up in Marlboro.
Well, a lot of people thought Marlboro was really going to be up and coming. They were going to be a very strong team.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sounds like it.
Well, they beat Leominster. That's a good start. It's not nothing. 1st and 10 now for the Raiders. Ball at their own 42-yard line. I formation behind Andrew Brooks. Mike Nowd is the running back.
Oh.
Fake the pitch. Brooks is in trouble.
Oh.
Kind of a busted play, and he's brought down in the backfield after a loss of 5.
That was more than a busted play. That was a busted play. You'll see that in the films this weekend.
Always looking to get better.
And back. Over and back. Over and back. Now they're just kind of running the clock down. And
I don't think they have to run another play.
But I think they're, yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna. Let's see. So, whoa, I'm not ready to pick it up yet. Nope. I'm not ready to pick it up yet. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pick it up. That's the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the quarter, yeah.
Fitchburg High, it was close at halftime, and Fitchburg kind of put the foot down, and now it is 35-12 in favor of the Red Raiders as we head into the final quarter of action. And once again, this is the first game in the newly renovated Snack Shack. It's in wonderful condition.
Yeah, a lot of good, hard-working people went to put that together, and a couple of people in business and local. Well, isn't that not beautiful?
That is so nice.
Don't you just feel like saying, Jackie Gleason? What? I'll have to tell you about a little later.
Oh, I'm afraid.
No, it's not one of those. It's just unavailable for the evening.
I see. Well, Fitchburg High, changing quarterbacks as we get into the fourth quarter of play, and we turn over the play-by-play to our main man, Dave Clark.
Thank you very much, sir. Red Raiders in control in this one, and they go right up the middle. And, so here comes our cameraman. A little bit behind on that camera.
These guys and girls do great work all night,
They
and you
do.
call them out for the one almost missed shot.
I wouldn't dare call it.
Speed.
How dare I?
Indeed.
Oh.
Anthony Cuevas is in for the Raiders at quarterback. Tom DiGeronimo going to the backups here. Not surprising with the 23-point lead, game well in hand.
Turn around and a short give of about 2 or 3. And
good enough for a first down
yeah,
for
I was
Damian Nadal.
I was waiting for that marker to get over there. Finally it did.
It really is, at least so far, and things could go horribly wrong in the fourth quarter, but assuming they don't, it really has been a complete game for the Raiders. The offense has been consistent and explosive. The defense has been at times dominant. St. Bernard's was able to march up and down for a couple of scores, but for the most part, Fitchburg has just dominated this game.
Was that Nowt again? Yes,
that is
it
Nowt
was.
again.
Well, darting through that hole over the 40 down to the 36-yard line.
Mike Nowd with a really good game on both sides of the ball. We saw him on defense in the first half, and now a couple of big runs here in the second.
I think a game like for this youngster, I think this game might be his when things start to really move for him. You can see it tonight. He's running with a lot of confidence. Pitch back. And kind of really not going to do much with that play. They kind of boxed him in over there.
Was Luis Alderando the ball carrier?
And he gets up slowly.
I think we hear some of the Raider coaches in the box above us lamenting that he did not hit the hole there. Kind of shuffled around in the backfield. Meanwhile, we've got a St. Bernard's player down. Obviously you hate to see that for anybody, but especially for a team like St. Bernard's that is so undermanned just going into a game, you hate to see anybody go down. It just makes them that much thinner.
Well, we still have, we have a timeout here. Or if you want to say thank you to sponsors, thank you to folks that helped us out earlier, and for the whole night. We have our crew call here at 5:30, ready to go, and they'll probably stay here until what, 11 or so.
We'll be here until 10:30, depending on how the fourth quarter goes. But once again, our director, John Dextre, is doing a great job as always.
Yes.
Dave Oster running the audio for us. Travis Falk,
Tremendous.
technical supervisor. Nicole Gaffney.
Does it all.
Nicole Gaffney, Jared Roberts, Jill Lehman, Tim Doust, Glenn Fossa, the executive director of Fitchburg Access Television, running a camera for us tonight.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good to see Micah Stinson getting off mostly under his own power. And, getting back to the crew, there's also us two schmucks. We're okay. I mean, I'm no Mike Flynn, but you're all right.
Oh, I don't know. Age has crept in.
Be honest with me,
Darn
Dave.
age.
Dave, I want you to be honest. Is Mike Flynn still watching this game?
Yes.
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 Okay. I'm going to
He's
hold you
got
to
what
that.
they call a split screen.
All right. The next time I see Mike Flynn, I'm going to ask him if he was watching this game.
What in the world is going on back there?
I believe Mr. Dextres has lost his mind. But on the football field, there was a handoff up the middle for a couple of yards. This is fun. I don't get to dunk on the truck like this when I'm
just
doing
waiting
college
to see
games.
if I can, by some happenstance, just kind of slips one out. That's what I'm waiting for.
It is a third down in Brockton for the Raiders, I think.
Yeah, the last couple of years, our first game has been Brockton. So it has been a bit different.
Just a little.
Brockton's having their troubles, too. As a community, too. One of the guys that does the games for Brockton is Bill Carpenter, who is the mayor now of Brockton. Great guy.
Oh,
nice
good for
guy.
him. Congratulations.
And, wish nothing but the best for Bill. Got his work cut out. I don't know, and Brockton's still a pretty good football team. And here's trouble trying to get around the far side and kind of dragged down at the 40-yard line.
That's Alderondo again. Jackson Poirier making the tackle.
I would think that this would be a very quick quarter.
One would hope.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm almost out of water.
Does somebody up there want to change with me next week so I can go down there?
Do you just want to whap John Dextres upside the head?
No, not at all.
Oh, and now he's apologizing.
Professionalism left a long time ago.
Professionalism? I'm sorry, what? I did not sign up for that when I agreed to do this game.
All right, we'll hand off. And did they lose the ball?
Fitchburg turned it over on downs, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he might have even. That was 44. We mentioned him a few times.
It was Chance Brown with the tackle for Fitchburg State.
Fitchburg
Good
State.
play for him. Fitchburg High.
Boop, 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 boop.
I need a swear jar. Fitchburg State jar.
It happens.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think they want to move everything down as quickly as they can.
That's still Dominic Cuervas in at quarterback for St. Bernard's. We saw him take over last quarter.
Rolling out to the near side and just kind of throwing it away around the 50-yard line.
Zachary Legros was in the area. It would be generous to say that pass was intended for him.
It was a nice little crowd here tonight.
It's a very good
when
crowd.
In the pregame stuff, I thought to myself, I really don't know what to expect tonight. Really, and then we had the stuff at the beginning, which was totally out of whack and I've never seen in my life. And then, then it started to slow down a little bit, and the team that had the more juice and so forth, they were the one that's leading, and they're the ones that are leading right now, as a matter of fact.
All right,
Purple
you liked the gold shoes earlier. I am a
did.
fan of that center's purple shoes.
I like
That's
those.
Sean McHugh.
I like those.
Those are good shoes, Sean McHugh. This is a free play
Faked
for
it.
St. Bernard's.
Yeah, down goes a flag. Ooh, somebody went down on Somebody went down.
Well, Cuervas took off running with the ball when you didn't have anybody downfield. I imagine St. Bernard's is just going to take the free 5, but we'll see here.
Roll out, pulls it down and carries it himself and does a little slide.
He's a
Safe.
well-trained quarterback. Don't want to get hit. It's understandable.
Bill Goslin apparently still looking for more airtime. As we tick along here, as we approach like 9:30.
There was a 1920s outfielder named Goose Goslin.
Goose Goslin?
Yeah.
Well, there was a Goose Gossage, of
There
course.
was.
I think we remember all them. Well, we remember him. Red Sox killer. Looking to throw. Throws and incomplete? Yes.
Incomplete.
Well, they're still throwing out and all doing something all with it. Maybe they try. This is a learning period that
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
going through.
It's the first game of the season. I'm going to kill this bug that's on our
Yeah,
monitor
you
here.
can do that, no problem. Wow.
That pass was intended for, I believe it was Lenny Adonteg.
I could have swore that went out of bounds, but I guess not.
And it'll be 4th down now for St. Bernard's. And they will go for it because, you know, why not?
Roll out, pass, and right down by the 42-yard line.
That's a really well thrown ball.
And not a bad catch either.
Zachary Legros, his first reception of the night. First down for St. Bernard's.
There it is, a little roll out. Pots it up there. Wow, we in between 4 men. 4 red shirts.
So St. Bernard's looking to get something together, put some more points on the board. They're trailing by 23 here with 4.5 minutes to go. It's probably a little bit out of reach.
There's a little run, far side down to the 40, 35, 30, and down to about the 25-yard line. This is a nice little run right up the middle. That'll be a first down. Here's your replay for you. In between the hash marks, just keep driving down the field.
Really good running there by the quarterback, Cuervas. Gets into the open field, cuts around a little bit, picks up some yardage, and now they will switch ends.
And now they switch ends. I think that could have all been handled before the game. That's what bothers me a bit. You know?
It's like they didn't realize it was going to be dark until it got dark.
Well, you know, you had this thing, you had it in your pocket. Why don't you just use it? If you know that, you know, some other team's using it, I don't know. I thought that was, I thought it was poorly handled.
It was poorly handled. We had to stand around vamping on air for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We made fools of ourselves.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about that.
We also did that. You know.
It is long and deep, and it is...
Whoa, that's a heck of a catch.
He caught it. He caught it.
That is a great catch. That's Dominic Valera, the starting quarterback, with that reception.
Let's see this, please, gentlemen and lady. Here it is, rolling out. Up. Jump ball. Ooh, I think it hit him right in the head.
Pass is just a little bit underthrown, but it's a heck of a catch for Valera.
I think those people that you know are hockey fans remember Ed Westfall getting whacked into the boards. 6 going in.
4-6.
4-6. Did he get in there?
He did.
He did.
Got just over the line, and then he got speared back. So Cuervas gets the touchdown carry, makes it a 35-18 game.
Yeah, 35-18.
St. Bernard's will probably go for 2, given that that's what they've done each of their previous 2 scores.
Yeah. St. Bernard's going for 2. Why not?
And this time the conversion attempt is good.
That was too far away from me. 35-20 is the score, and a couple of touchdowns here. But I guess you know, people read their paper tomorrow and they read this one, they'll go, well, you know, St. Bernard's played with them. All right, okay, that's okay.
I would say the score does not reflect the relative closeness of this game. It is not as close as it would indicate.
Yeah, that's true. They weren't under any kind of threat to not win the game.
Except, again, when they were under the threat of not playing it because of the lights, which was weird. Hopefully, hopefully there's someone from Shepherd Hill watching this game, and we can tell them right now, hey, folks, there's a thing with the lights. Be prepared.
I think they know that.
Hopefully.
Be interesting to find out. Well, it'll be interesting to find out what happens to it next week. I don't think you're going to see new lights. I would be surprised. Could they play in the afternoon? I don't know. Probably wouldn't get as much.
I wouldn't think they'd play on a Friday afternoon. They would move it to Saturday afternoon, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, we will do our level best. If it is a 7 o'clock kickoff, I can guarantee it'll be on FATV. If the game gets moved for whatever reason, we'll do what we can.
Kickoff. Going down and going down about the 45-yard line. And Zach Legros made the tackle.
Looks like Andrew Brooks checking back in at quarterback for the Raiders. I guess, you know, it is a 15-point game. You want to make sure nothing untoward happens, and, you know, you deserve this win. You should wrap it up.
Yep. A flag.
A flag.
So they're counting for people on the field. Maybe there's too many people on the field.
Possibly.
I can't tell. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I count 5 zebras. Are those who we're counting?
And it's like, I don't know.
Well, that was full of sound and fury signifying nothing.
Whoa, right up the middle. 30, 20, and down to about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, bring back the starters. They'll put the game away. Carlos Figueroa gets his first carry in like a quarter and a half, and he goes 60 yards with it. That makes sense.
Right up the middle, yeah.
Figueroa is just making St. Bernard's look silly here. Just dives out of 4 tackles, finally brought down after a gain of 45 yards.
I would really love, because I see our listeners can't hear what we're listening to. So if you take our director and put him in with us, and just let it roll,
We'd all get fired.
There's going to be a lot of people there listening.
We'd all get fired.
No, you won't. Probably get a raise. I have anything.
What, are they going to double my salary?
You get salary, don't you?
No. I'm not joking
no.
when I call it the all-volunteer crew of Fitchburg Access Television, Dave.
I know what happens.
You think I do this for my paycheck?
Better hope not.
And the Raiders are just going to kneel it out.
Are they? Okay.
Mercifully.
All right. It looks like that will do it.
They'll have to do that one more time, I think. Get it down below 40 seconds, take one more knee, send this one to bed. Send us to bed, my God. It's like 9:30.
35-20. Well, that was about it for this evening, and we hope that you enjoyed it. It started off certainly in one of the strangest situations that. And then communication was bad. We didn't know what was going on up here, which made it kind of lousy.
Yeah, well, that's hardly new.
But just a weird way to begin the game. Very strange. And then once the game started going, Fitchburg did what they were supposed to do.
It really was a complete win, both sides of the football. The offense, as we said, consistent, explosive, moving up and down the field at will with some really big plays. The defense, for the most part, doing their part. You know, they let in an extra touchdown there at the end. So 35-20 is the final score. Not really as reflective as this game was. Fitchburg was in complete control all throughout. A really encouraging first game of the season for the Red Raiders.
There's going through the lines there, and Tom DiGeronimo congratulating students, and so is Ray Kazenza. Of course, Coach Kazenza had an interesting couple of years at St. Bernard's, and really brought it back. And that's the thought now of somebody like a Tom DiGeronimo to bring it back, and first step is underway, and they got off to a good start tonight.
Good win tonight. Hopefully another good game next week against Shepherd Hill. We will have the action for you right here on FATV.
Yeah, I don't know if we got do we have the list of good folks that help us out here?
We
wanna,
absolutely do. Our director one more time was John Dextrays. Audio. We're even going to have graphics here, so I'm going to read a little more. Read a little more slowly.
Okay, great.
Of course, now that I've said that, we're not going to have that. But hey, that's nice. That's a good shot. The Raiders are celebrating, and they earned it. You know, these guys had a heck of a game. They played very well. They deserve this win. Congratulations to them.
Hey, there we go. Hey.
Well, we did okay.
Yikes.
Yeah. You got to start with the worst, and then you work your way up, right? That's how it goes, right? John Dextrays, a good job, as always.
Yes,
Director / comedian, really.
Yes, really.
Dave Oster, Nicole Gaffney did a good job with the audio.
Watching them set up early today, they were all over the place. Nice job. Glenn?
Again, the executive director, the boss of FATV, brought in a camera because that's what you do, because that's what FATV is all about.
Jared's Jared over there.
I could spend 2 hours telling you everything
Robbins.
Travis Falk does for every truck production, and I wouldn't get through half of it.
Yeah, talented guy, I'll tell you.
Like, dead serious, this
Why
place
is he
would not
laughing
exist
about
without
that?
Travis Falk. John
Why are you
Dextrace
laughing
is
at
laughing at Travis Falk. Travis Falk is the reason we're on TV right now.
The final score, Fitchburg 35 and St. Bernard's 20. Good night, everybody.